Hi everyone, it's Jason with Do You Know Drones. I saw on LinkedIn that Skyward has a new mapping and modeling module powered by Pix4D. I have not used the Skyward ecosystem, although it is a very powerful enterprise drone management platform. With the addition of the mapping and modeling module, I would say this could be a complete end-to-end. But let's find out. Are you ready? Let's go. We're doing a deep dive into Skyward because they just introduced a mapping and modeling module onto their existing enterprise drone platform. So I have not used Skyward before, so I'm going to give my first impression overall. I've used lots of other platforms, but I'm going to do sort of my first impression of both the computer and mobile experience. So let's dive in. So when you log into Skyward, you come to this dashboard. You have some basic information on your organization, any upcoming operations, information on personnel, aircraft, number of hours that you've logged, total logged operation, total logged flights. So here I always, since I'm a mapping guy, I always start with a map. If I'm going to be starting a mapping project, I always start with a map. So when we come to the map, you get a nice couple different base maps that you can choose. You can upload shapefiles, import KMLs. That's important. You can change the base layer, change it to terrain. You even have the section of the VFR map. That's very nice. Let's go ahead and go into my area. Here in Commerce City. Move to the satellite map. Great, but here we can also see there's a terrain map, a dark style map. That's kind of nice. And a VFR map layer. Obviously, the VFR map doesn't work necessarily at this scale very well, so I'll probably go back to the satellite map. You can see that there's no advisories for this area, but I can see that the Lance grid is up, and I do have a 300-foot ceiling. So if I'm going to plan a mission here, new operation, give it a name. I call this one Park Demo. And then the tooltip comes up here, draw operation area. I'm just going to do this half of the park. Just click four corners of the polygon, and that's it. It looks like you can add it to a library, and you can hit next. You can save this shape to the library. Ballpark demo. Great. So now you get this neat operation, sort of this operation overview. I see that it has this is a tooltip for this. This appears to be a risk assessment and checklist. I can do the risk. Yep, I guess do the risk assessment right here. On-site time, let's go ahead and schedule this for sort of right now. It's currently, let's see, let's do it for 1,500 to, yep, can't come before the end time. Appreciate that. That's fantastic. 1,600, great. It's right down the road. Select the PIC. If there's any additional crew members like a VO, select my Mavic 2 Pro, great. Even add custom fields and notes, add batteries and payloads. That's really nice. It does see for this area that I do have a 300-foot ceiling. I can add in my request. In this case, I'm only going to request 200 feet and request authorization. Great. Notification of intended use. Read all of these. Fantastic. Correct. I agree. And just like that, authorization approved. That's really, really handy. I can see the sort of mission weather, 1,500, 75 degrees, clear, small chance of precipitation. It's really nice outside today. 6-mile-an-hour winds, gusting 14, and sunrise and sunset, 10 statute mile visibility, and no precipitation, cloud cover. Daily weather, you can see that's kind of nice. I can see the daily weather. helpful as well. Just kind of overall clean information. I can save. I'm going to save the risk assessment until I'm actually out in the field, because that's sort of the best time to do that. If I had checklists, I can add checklists here. So if I wanted to add checklists, I could do that. That's pretty handy as well. And I can submit a NOTAM. That is pretty nice. Usually only processed during Monday through Friday, 24 hours advance, and they're sent directly to the FBA by Skyward. That's really nice. I will not submit a NOTAM for this. Notify other crew members, download a report, delete the operation, duplicate the operation. Nice. I can add documents, exemptions, insurance, regulatory documents, client documents. I can have customer information, job reference numbers, phone numbers, any customer notes, and all of this looks like it'll be included in a summary report. That's really nice and handy. Doing everything that you need to do to just plan the area of interest, do the Lance, your airspace authorization, weather, your pilots, equipment, any documentation. So all of that, any customer information, all of that can be handled in advance before going out into the field. So that is handy. If I go back, I can see personnel. I can have multiple personnel here, information on the person themselves, their certification, any hours that were uploaded, any documents for these people. This can include like background checks, insurance, any other checklist or certification documentation. I can change the role within the organization. If I edit this, it looks like they have some pre-assigned roles. VO, payload operator, and flight dispatcher. And you can put their information in there. Excellent. I can also do the same thing, manage the aircraft. Put the information on the aircraft, serial number, registration number, firmware, weight, any hours, service history, add new service events. So definitely an enterprise management software for sure. So this is very handy. Manage checklists. Checklists are obviously extremely important. I can add a new checklist here, add new tasks. Like if you want to just add your own pre-flight, you can add your own pre-flight. You can require for all new applications, and then you can edit checklist tasks. Very, very handy. Check equipment for defects. This is great. It can be a text field, checkbox, add task. This is actually pretty nice. NOTAMs, or there's just a lot of things you can add here. So this is really, really good. So if you have a pre-flight checklist, and all operations should have a pre-flight checklist depending on the operation, to be able to put this in here is very handy. You can save this. If I go back, I can add multiple checklists. So that is very good. If you do multiple different types of operations, that's really nice to be able to do that. And you can add these directly within the operation as well. If I come in here to the park demo, I can now see that there are checklists. I can add a checklist. I can add the pre-flight. That's awesome. Nice. I can add as many checklists as I want there, depending on the operation. So that is very handy. And now I think it's time to head over to the mobile app. So let's go ahead and fly this thing. So jumping into the mobile app, you can click on your operations, click on today's flight, and from here we can start a risk assessment. We can just go through and answer the questions. A lot of questions. Each category has, we're talking about different categories related to crew, right? Like I am going through basically I am safe. Going through aircraft, your equipment, if it's airworthy, if it's been inspected, if you've checked return to home, if GPS signal is where it needs to be. You could put any mitigations in there if it's not quite meeting that class. Checking any of the weather limits, cloud ceiling, visibility, all of that, temperature, humidity, all of those that you should be going through. You can go through those. It's a pretty good risk assessment. I would probably add a few things to it. Goes through location, if you're authorized, if there's people, if it's populated. In this case, it was populated. There's a park. There's people playing in the park. Terrain, any hazards. You can probably add more to a checklist to this, but it's pretty decent related to location. And And if you've seen the area, and once you get done with that, it'll tell you those 21 different risk areas, and it'll say this is a moderately risk mission. So from here, now we're ready to, we're ready to go fly. But here I like to add, you can add in additional checklist elements, your own pre-flight checklists. It just is helpful. And here you can check your authorization, your Lance authorization. It pops right up within the app, so that's helpful as well. If someone's just asking about your authorization on the fly and you don't have a printout, pull it right up on your phone. That's pretty handy. I kind of like that. And with that, you're ready to go fly. All right, transitioning to flight mode, the display goes to landscape. And it looks very similar to sort of DJI Go 4 with some tweaks, right? You have the in-flight logo in the top left-hand corner. Notice here we have the AOI. It has the 300-foot ceiling on it. You can click on the pink sort of button and it'll pull up the automated flights. So it'll pull up survey, and what you do is you verify, click on fly this automated flight. It'll go through sort of a pre-flight checklist, make sure everything's connected. And then you can just select take off. And once you select take off, I was really expecting more information, but this is all that I ever saw, was just this. And while I did have some flight statistics down in the bottom, right? I could see the altitude, the distance, the MSL. I could see that information, and I can see the moving map. I was missing some information. I was missing mission statistics, including completion percentage, number of image taken. All that information is missing. And one big thing missing for me, and maybe this is just a setting that I missed, but it should just come up automatically and does in every other app, is the bottom left-hand corner. There was no, or even the bottom right-hand corner, there's typically a image preview window showing that all the images are being taken. That the gimbal is looking straight down. There's no information on this, and once the aircraft leaves, you have no idea whatsoever if images are being taken or if things are being going. And to be very honest, the constant cautions are extremely annoying. I'm hoping there's something you could do to turn those off. So the mission by itself, I believe, was successful. It says it was complete, so let's see. All right, we are back from the field, and now we are about to upload the images into a new project. So to upload to a project, we need to create a project. I did create a project already, test project, and we're going to upload the media to that project. Here we can just drag and drop or select images from device. So I'm going to drag and drop the 246 images. Great. All are geolocated. It looks like it does a little check, date, and then there's nothing else on this, so hit next. Great. So we're going to go ahead and do map and 3D. We're going to upload and process. Okay, so at this point, it's going to upload the images, and we'll come back when it's done. All right, processing has finished. I did not get an email saying the process is completed. I did get an email saying that processing has started, that the Pix 4D Enterprise engine has picked up the job, but I didn't get an email saying that it was finished. Just an approximated time somewhere between an hour and 1 to 2 hours, which is exactly when it finished. It finished about an hour and a half for about 250 images. That seems about right. So coming back to the projects tab, we can see that we have this new project, this media. I can click on it, and it fetches, brings it automatically into the project area and pulls up the orthomosaic. Orthomosaic, as we sort of look around, sort of like just for overall quality, it's a good quality ortho. It doesn't have information on the orthomosaic sort of here on the screen, just sort of basic map display elements. I do have some tools, some basic tools. I can measure linear measurements. I can do areas, and I can highlight points. So we can sort of throw all of this Let's just give this a shot. Let's take a look at that. Great. Great. You can even change the color. You want it to be a different color. Awesome. And just some basic statistics. Awesome. You can give it a name. Oop. Area. Great. And you can save these in the map. So they show up sort of with some basic statistics, basic area measurements, and a basic linear measurement. And both of these annotations are here in the map. So this is sort of the basic what you have here. There's also the DSM product that comes up. I can turn these annotations off. We can take a look at this annotation. Take a look at this. This was the same picnic area, and all of the playground implements. It looks there's a small anomaly here in the DSM. I don't believe, just for giggles, let's pull up the 3D model and let's see if that anomaly shows up in the 3D mesh. If I bring this down, I don't see a vertical anomaly in that spot in the 3D mesh, nor do I see it necessarily in the point cloud. Maybe just a DSM processing error. But yeah, these 3D products look about what I would expect them to look for this type of survey. So overall, the products here are they look good. These are good looking products. They look about the same as I would expect any sort of photogrammetry engine to process with a basic single lawnmower pattern with 75 and 75 frontal and side overlap. So overall, great products. Put the OrthoMosaic back up, and we can see we can download these products from here. You can download the OrthoMosaic as a GeoTIFF, same with the DSM, point cloud at LAS, and the 3D model data, both the sort of facade information and the OBJ, so the color information in the model itself, all here, as well as that I can download. So pretty simple overall, not made to be incredibly complex, but that's I believe is what they were going for, sort of end to end, being able to do the whole enterprise drone platform management, from the equipment to the personnel to the flights to the batteries to the payloads, to the jobs, everything in between, manage all operations, being able to see where all operations are occurring, filter and report, all of that is built into it as well. So yeah, a lot of management capabilities, and now with the addition of the mapping and modeling, this is a powerful tool for sure. So I'll be very curious to see where they go with this, see what a sort of additional added functionality they add. But for now, this is a great addition to Skyward. I'm excited to see where they go. So there we have it, folks. There's my take on Skyward's entire end-to-end processing chain, from enterprise drone management through mission planning, through capture with their in-flight app, all the way through the new mapping and modeling powered by Pix4D. I will tell you that Skyward is doing a webinar. I'll leave the information for the webinar below, but you can catch out their webinar June 8th. And you can register for their webinar on their website. I'll leave that below down in the description as well. But it should be a very good overview introducing this new capability. I just wanted to take a look at it first and see what I thought overall. I think there are some powerful traits to it, but I do think there are still some operational limitations that sort of, and not just bells and whistles things, some like basic things I described earlier. So I think with a few tweaks, this could be a bit of a game changer in the industry. So another powerful tool. The more tools, the better. Speaking of more tools, my next video, what I'm planning for, is somewhere down the road here in a very short order. I'm going to be covering the top 5 drone capture apps for iOS and Android. So we're going to be taking a look at those. There's about, if you just type in drone mapping into your app store, you're going to see there's quite a few apps out there. Some paid, some free. I'm just going to do a quick review just for the capture portion of the mission. So we're going to take a look at those, rack and stack them, and I'll give you my thoughts. As always, I love that you're all here with me. Leave questions down in the comments. Would love to hear more from all of you that are watching, all my subscribers. I appreciate you so much. And I just like very much doing this. It's a lot of fun for me. So thank you so much. It's a little bit of creative outlet for sort of an overall very technical kind of day. So thank you so much. And I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. And we will catch you on the flip side. See ya.